दृष्टुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नृसिंहं भीषणं भद्रं मृत्युं नमाम्यहम्. Dear students, we have done the preparation of carboxylic acid by oxidation method. The oxidation of primary alcohol forms aldehyde. Then aldehyde gets oxidized to form carboxylic acid. Then oxidation of methyl ketone, that can be done through holoform reaction. We take methyl ketone, treat this with chlorine in presence of sodium hydroxide. It forms trichloroacetone. The trichloroacetone or trichloroketone, whatever it may be, forms chloroform and the carboxylic acid. Then come to the hydrolysis of ester. The ester can be hydrolyzed. We take by two methods, by acid hydrolysis, by alkali hydrolysis. In acid hydrolysis, when you take the carboxylic acid, reflux it dilute concerned sulfuric acid, undergoes hydrolysis to form carboxylic acid and the alcohol, and there is a wide difference of boiling point between the alcohol and carboxylic acid, so they can be separated by fractional distillation. If we take the alkali, then this will form the salt of the carboxylic acid. Then the salt of carboxylic acid is hydrolyzed. For example, if you take the alkali hydrolysis, in this I have mislit. So suppose you take the ester RCOR we take and use the alkali. We use the alkali. This sodium hydroxide you say, we use the alkali directly. Then this forms RCONA plus ROH. This is alcohol and sodium salt. Then this RCONA, the salt, will acidify with hydrochloric acid. So this forms RCOH plus NaCl. So this reaction I have missed there. This is alkali hydrolysis of ester. We have done this. Now then we have discussed hydrolysis of alkyl cyanide. When an alkyl cyanide is hydrolyzed by an acid or by alkali, we get the amide. The amide upon hydrolysis forms the ammonium salt of the carboxylic acid. The ammonium salt of carboxylic acid on acidification produces the carboxylic acid. Now we will come to how we can prepare this carboxylic acid from Grignard reagent. So I told you this Grignard reagent is a very good synthetic reagent which is supplies a Grignard. We use the Grignard reagent and prepare this synthesis. So this I have told you that Grignard reagent, if you come, R MgPr. So here Mg is positive, R is negative. So this is called a carbanion. Grignard reagent is a precursor of carbanion. So whatever acid you want to prepare, the alkyl part of the acid will be supplied by your this. So what is carboxylic acid? Carboxylic acid is RCOH. So this we will get from hydrolysis. This we will get from hydrolysis. And this R will be given by Grignard reagent. Then what should be starting material? Carbon dioxide. See, you will not remember what you take. Grignard reagent, you have HOG, Grignard reagent. Then what is the other product for me to prepare carboxylic acid? So write the carboxylic acid RCOH. H will get from hydrolysis. R will get from the Grignard reagent. So carbon dioxide. So if you take carbon dioxide, so what is the Grignard reagent? Is always reaction is done in ethereal medium and at 0 degree temperature. So we have to take carbon dioxide as a gas. How will you get? So we take the dry ice. The solid carbon dioxide is called dry ice. When the carbon dioxide is freezed, the carbon dioxide gas is freezed, it forms a white crystalline solid that is called dry ice. If you take dry ice and treat this with and pass Grignard reagent to that, then it will undergo addition reaction to form an unstable product, and we will hydrolyze this to produce the carboxylic acid. That is a very useful method and also very pure method of preparation of the carboxylic acid. So whatever we cannot prepare formic acid by this, we can prepare by acetic acid, we can prepare any acid that is so alkyl part, we will choose the Grignard reagent. Suppose you want acetic acid, you take CH3MgBr. If you want propionic acid, you take C2H5MgBr. If you want butyric acid, you take C3H7MgBr. Because C will come from carbon dioxide. So accordingly we will take this. So let's take the dry ice. Treat this with Grignard reagent. So this is carbon dioxide, COO. This is carbon dioxide. The solid carbon dioxide is called dry ice, and we treat this with Grignard reagent or MgBr. This undergoes addition reaction, R minus MgBr plus, so O minus C plus, so the R is added to carbon and MgBr is added to O. This undergoes addition reaction, so we get R, C, O, MgBr. These are unstable product we got, RCO, MgBr. So this product is now hydrolyzed by an acid hydrolysis HOH. So this forms OH and H, we get carboxylic acid RCOH plus MgOHBr. We get this carboxylic acid. So suppose you want to prepare acetic acid. What we will do? We will take dry ice. We take the dry ice, treat this with methyl magnesium bromide. So this undergoes addition reaction. CH3 is minus, MgBr is plus, here O is minus, C is plus. So CH3 comes to carbon, MgBr comes to O. So we get CH3, C, O, MgBr, the unstable product. So this upon hydrolysis by a mineral acid, H plus HOH, we get this product as CH3, CO, OH, acetic acid plus MgOHBr. So this is a very useful method for preparation of this. So from carbon dioxide, so carbon dioxide plenty available. So the starting material only methyl magnesium bromide. So this is a very economic method, useful method, and pure form of acetic acid can be prepared. That's the reason when you go to market and purchase vinegar, vinegar is acetic acid. So it is written synthetic vinegar. It is written synthetic vinegar because that acetic acid is not prepared, is not naturally occurring acetic acid. It is a prepared synthesized acetic acid. So these are the methods. There are other methods. From ethylene we can prepare. From malonic ester, we can take the malonic ester on hydrolysis. Acetic ester on hydrolysis produces also the acetic acid, the carboxylic acid. From malonic acid ester also on hydrolysis produces the acetic acid. So whatever the syllabus gives us keeping the syllabus in view, we are studying. So subsequently, when we will start to read our acetic acid, acetoacetic ester, we have in our course, and we have also malonic ester in our course. So there, while doing that, I will be discussing how acetic acid can be prepared from malonic ester and acetoacetic ester. Now we'll come to preparation of formic acid. So this preparation of formic acid, we can get it from the methyl alcohol, CH3OH, the methyl alcohol. So we take the methyl alcohol, CH3OH, and we take the platinum black, and heat it. So this undergoes catalytic oxidation. This undergoes catalytic oxidation to produce formic acid, HCOOH. This is a useful method for preparation of the formic acid. Second method, this can be also done from carbonic acid. The formic acid can also be prepared from carbonic acid. Reduction of carbonic acid. What is H2CO3, carbonic acid? So what is done? We take carbon dioxide and treat it to saturate the water with carbon dioxide. We take the water, pass carbon dioxide gas through that. The carbonic acid is an unstable acid, is prepared in the reaction medium. We get in the reaction medium that H2CO3. The carbonic acid we get H2CO3, or we can say we get HOHCOOH, H2CO3. This is carbonic acid. This carbonic acid is now reduced, because what we want? We want HCOOH. We want HCOH, means what? HCOH. So we want H here. We have to remove O. If we remove O, you can get formic acid. So removal of oxygen is called what? Reduction. This is carbonic acid. So if you remove this O, this becomes what? HCOOH. Reduction. Who does the reduction? Palladium, platinum. So if you take palladium black and pass hydrogen gas in presence of palladium black, and hydrogen gas we pass, the hydrogen gas will take the oxygen, remove the oxygen, absorb the oxygen, and we get the formic acid. So in the second method, we get here HOCOOH, the carbonic acid. Now if we pass the hydrogen gas and in presence of palladium black, we take the palladium black and heat it. So this H2 will take the O from this place. We get the formic acid, HCOH plus H2O, and this is called formic acid. So both the acetic acid and the formic acid can be prepared from this. So what is done? Carbon dioxide water is taken, carbon dioxide glass is plentifully available, pass carbon dioxide gas through water, saturate the water, that solution is carbonic acid. Then take carbonic acid and take the palladium black and heat it. On heating, then this will be reduced. So this undergoes reduction. This reaction is a reduction reaction. This undergoes reduction to produce the formic acid. So this is called from oxidation of methyl alcohol, and this is reduction of carbonic acid. Now third method, we can get it from hydrogen cyanide. Also we can get the hydrogen cyanide. We can get, and the very useful will be chloroform. Hydrolysis of chloroform. Third method we can take. Chloroform. CHCl3, this chloroform. CHCl3 chloroform. So now this is done by the alkali hydrolysis. When the chloroform is taken, HCCl chloroform, and it is treated with, say, aqueous potassium hydroxide. We'll take here aqueous potassium hydroxide. Then what will happen? This all the chlorine atom will be removed. So 3 molecules of aqueous KOH, we get HCOH, OH and OH plus 3 KCl we get. This is an unstable product. So any compound which has 2 OH groups, that is unstable, just like the carbonic acid. Carbonic acid is unstable because of what? Because of 2 OH groups. Any carbon atom, when attached to 2 OH groups, it loses a molecule of water. Now this carbon atom has 2 OH groups, will lose a molecule of water. So this will lose a molecule of water. Say this loses a molecule of water. So we get here HCOH, the formic acid plus water, so here 3 molecules of water are added, and here we will get 1 molecule of water comes out. So when the chloroform is heated with or refluxed with potassium hydroxide, it forms a trihydroxy product, unstable triadex product, which upon loses a molecule of water. It loses a molecule of water to produce the formic acid and water. This is the way the formic acid can be prepared. Now we will come to the laboratory method of preparation of formic acid. The formic acid can be prepared in the laboratory in a very pure form. Why? The formic acid is a very useful product. Very useful product. It's used for many purposes. We will be studying after the discussing the properties of formic acid. I will be discussing the uses of this product. Their starting material for many compounds, medicinal, in a pharmaceutical science, the formic acid, acetic acid, acetaldehyde, all these compounds, they have a pharmaceutical use. Most of the organic compounds, those of you will get into NET, and to qualify, then join medical college, you will having a first year, you read physiology and biochemistry. So most of the students who are very keen in chemistry, they get an honors in their first year, first MBBS subject. So if you, mostly you will be reading organic chemistry there. So children, that is the reason I am going to a bridge point of organic chemistry. I teach you from fundamental. So if you go deep into these fundamentals without remembering them, there your teacher, the professor who will teaching biochemistry, he will appreciate you definitely, because those teachers, old teachers, they knew that these are the subjects should be remembered. So they will tell you to remember, but at that time you can refute him and tell him, sir, nothing should be remembered, because if you remember you will forget. So you will not remember, but you will understand. So now we'll come to from glycerol. So the lab method of preparation of formic acid. This is a lab method of preparation of formic acid from oxalic acid and glycerol. What the method? Very simple. What is oxalic acid? So when oxalic acid is decarboxylated, the formic acid is produced. What is the principle? Oxalic acid on decarboxylation produces formic acid. So that decarboxylation is done by whom? By the glycerol. So this is oxalic acid. The principle is this oxalic acid COH, COH, and if this loses a molecule of carbon dioxide, if you lose a molecule of carbon dioxide, this is done so by formic acid and carbon dioxide. And how it is done? It is done by glycerol. It is a trihydroxy alcohol glycerol, and it is heated to 120 degree centigrade. The temperature should not exceed 120 degree. Temperature should be maintained at 120 degree. That means what? We will take oxalic acid, treat it with the glycerol. So this is an carboxylic acid, this is an alcohol. What is the glycerol? Glycerol is CS2OH, CHOH, CS2OH. This is glycerol, trihydroxy alcohol. It is an alcohol. We are heating with oxalic acid. Then what will happen? They will undergo esterification reaction. It will form an ester. Then that ester, when we heat, that loses a molecule of carbon dioxide, undergoes first step decarboxylation. Then we get an intermediate product. Then if we add again oxalic acid to that, the oxalic acid will, the glycerol monooxalate, then that will form glycerol monoformate. The glycerol monoformate on hydrolysis will give us the formic acid. So this is the principle. So when you in mind crystallize the thing, I want to prepare formic acid and I will take oxalic acid, I will decarboxylate. So how it done? By forming an ester of the oxalic acid by using glycerol, and then that glycerol monooxalate is formed. By heating to 120 degrees centigrade, that loses a molecule of water, a carbon dioxide, to form glycerol monoformate. Then on adding oxalic acid, that goes hydrolysis to form the formic acid. First step is esterification, second step is decarboxylation, third step is hydrolysis. So 3 steps this is done. So I'll write the reaction, very interesting reaction. If you write this much, you will get the mark. When oxalic acid is decarboxylated by heating with glycerol at 120 degree centigrade, the formic acid is produced. This much if you write, you get the mark. Then how the reaction will take place? Let us strike the reaction. So this is glycerol, CS2OH and CHOH and CS2OH. Now we are treating this with oxalic acid, COOH, COOH. We are heating to 120 degree centigrade. Maintain temperature. Then what will happen? This is alcohol and this is a carboxylic acid. Alcohol and carboxylic acid, then what the reaction will go? That will go esterification reaction. That will undergo esterification reaction. Then what will happen? During esterification, what happens? The H of carboxylic acid alcohol goes. During mega reaction, MEGA reaction, remember alcohol, mega reaction is a reaction of hydrogen atom. So the H will go. So this H of carboxylic acid and OH of alcohol and OH of the oxalic acid will be lost. So what will happen now? We will get the ester. Here CS2 remain, then comes O, then comes CO, then comes COOH. CS2O, then CO, then COOH. Then everything remains as such, CHOH and CS2OH. So this is called glycerol monooxalate. Glycerol monooxalate. This form glycerol monooxalate. This is a ester. Now this compound is heated to 120 degree centigrade. So this undergoes decarboxylation. And so this is the esterification, then undergoes decarboxylation. What will happen? This will lose a molecule of carbon dioxide. The carbon dioxide is lost. On heating, this loses a molecule of carbon dioxide. Then what will remain? CS2 remain. We got O, then CO, then H. So HCOO. So we got CHOH and CS2OH. So this is a format. HCO. This format. This format. This is glycerol. This is glycerol part, the acid part. So the name will be glycerol monoformate. This is glycerol HCOO, glycerol monoformate. This glycerol monoformate now again hydrolyzed. We treat this with oxalic acid again. We take again oxalic acid, here we take and heat to 120 degree centigrade. Here it will go hydrolysis. So here this oxalic acid molecule will give us water. So this water will break here. It will break. So it will undergo hydrolysis. So HOH. Always here it breaks. The oxy linkage will break. So H will come to glycerol. You get the glycerol, you will get back, and you get HCOOH, formic acid, CS2OH, CS2OH. So we get here our CS2OH, CHOH, CS2OH plus we get formic acid. So that's the reason we get actually formic acid. So this is, we get back the glycerol and formic acid. So if you look at the reaction, actually what is happening? You are getting a formic acid from where? Because you are getting back the glycerol. We are getting back our glycerol. So glycerol is carrying out the reaction. So we can take, say here, the glycerol acts as a catalyst. So that's the reason the principle I have written, in the principle I wrote. What is the principle I wrote? I wrote when oxalic acid COOH, COOH is oxalic acid, is heated with glycerol at 120 degree centigrade, undergoes decarboxylation to produce the formic acid. This I wrote, the principle. Exactly same thing is happening. We are taking glycerol, we are heating with oxalic acid, first step, one molecule reacts and this form the glycerol monooxalate. The glycerol monooxalate then on heating to 120 degrees centigrade undergoes decarboxylation. This loses a molecule of water, a carbon dioxide. Here the carbon dioxide is lost. We get the glycerol monoformate. The glycerol monoformate then added with oxalic acid. We add the oxalic acid again and heat to 120 degree centigrade. So this undergoes hydrolysis. The water comes from the oxalic acid and it breaks it here. We get the glycerol and the formic acid. So ultimately the oxalic acid is producing us the formic acid and glycerol carry out the reaction. So this is a useful method for preparation of formic acid, and oxalic acid is prepared from carbon dioxide again. So this is the way we can prepare the formic acid. This is a lab method of preparation of formic acid. So these are the methods we have discussed, various methods for the preparation of acetic acid, formic acid, or any carboxylic acid can be prepared by this method. So I am giving you homework. So this, think children, this compound CH3, I am giving homework, CH3 C triple bond N. This is methyl cyanide. This is methyl cyanide, and this compound is also called acetonitrile. This is called as acetonitrile. My question to all of you, the students of the second year science, I am asking this question: why CH3CN is called acetonitrile? There is no CH3CO group. There is no CH3CO group. CH3CO, CH3 is called acetone. CH3COCl is called acetyl chloride. CH3CO and H2 called acetamide. But there is no CH3CO group, but it is called acetonitrile. My question to you, why it is called acetonitrile? So you go through this, and you go through the hydrogen bonding. What is hydrogen bonding? And so that next class I will discussing you. First I will discuss the structure of formic acid, acetic acid, carboxylic acid. Then I will talk to you the physical properties of carboxylic acid. Then I will go to the chemical properties of the carboxylic acid. Thank you very much for being with us all this time. And next class we will discussing about the physical properties of carboxylic acid. Then we will go to chemical properties.